Welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast. I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
And we're back bringing you all our thoughts on everything happening in nerd culture. How is everyone doing this week?
Pretty sleepy this week.
A lot of late nights this week.
Well, guys, I am awake and refreshed. I got a good 8 hours of sleep.
Bring the energy, Shannon.
And we're going off missing a pod, so we should be a lot of content to talk about.
There is a lot of content to talk about pending certain things. Jaja, did you see the Marvels this weekend?
This weekend includes today. I know the podcast doesn't come out on the weekend, but I planned on seeing it today. So
okay, so no spoiler heavy reviews then. Boo. It's fine.
Keep it light.
We could save that till later. Definitely don't want to spoil some of the things that happen in that movie, but whatever.
Plus, I feel like there's some other stuff we got to get to before we get to the Marvels.
Yeah, of course. You're
a couple
right.
things.
We'll talk about the box office numbers though.
Did you guys see Loki?
Yes, we did. We saw Loki.
You saw the whole thing.
I did, yeah. James did. James saw it.
6 episodes.
All right. And then, so we're ready. Let's go.
We are. Before we get into things that are happening this week, though, let's talk about some nerdy things. What have you guys been up to this week?
I can go first. Mine's are pretty quick. I watched Loki. Of course, I watched Attack on Titan. I haven't got a chance to game like I have, but there's a lot of good games that I'm going to check out on Game Pass. But it's been Attack on Titan and Loki. And pretty much, you know how I get with Attack on Titan, watching like people's like analysts of the ending and all this stuff, just trying to see if it matches what I'm thinking. And there's a lot of different opinions out there, just like how when the manga ended. So it's been interesting. But yeah, I haven't really been much of that. Loki and Attack on Titan has taken up a lot of my time.
Are you still playing Starfield? Or did you finish that game?
I haven't got on the Xbox to game in like 2 weeks yet.
Okay. So no. So still playing it. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, yes, we do have a lot to talk about with Attack on Titan, I guess. Yes, we do. And Loki. So we'll get to that. James, what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I actually just got back from Tokyo last week, Sunday, so like Sunday night. The time change was destroying me all week. I was down bad, very bad. I think I went to sleep at like 6 a.m. one night, and then my alarm goes off at 6:30, but I forgot to turn it back on, so I didn't wake up until like noon. I was so panicked. But I'm finally in a better sleep schedule. Last night I was just up late because I was just doing stuff, but I think I'm back on track. But yeah, Japan Part 2. What was I doing? I went to Disney, Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yes, you did.
That was pretty nice. So it was like water based. So like all the worlds that are aquatic or have a lot to do with water. So I went to that one first. And I was gonna go to Tokyo Disneyland the following day, but then I was like, oh, it's probably all the same stuff that's in regular Tokyo, well, regular Disney. So I ended up not going to that.
No, it's not. They have different rides.
Okay.
You should have went.
Well, I missed out on that one. But,
yes, you did, James.
Yeah, Disney Sea was dope. I got on some ride. I skipped all the like kiddie rides, the ones like Finding Nemo. I skipped that stuff. But if it was like other rides, I got on those. So I had a list, but I don't feel like pulling it up right now. But I got on some rides. Some of them were pretty cool. Tower of Terror was my favorite for sure.
Wait, Tower of Terror was in Disney Sea?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, right. And then most of the attractions and stuff, they were in Japanese, which I mean, I speak it at a decent level, but like not entertainment wise. So there were no subtitles. They were getting it in and they were just speaking Japanese. So I was like, okay, it wouldn't even make sense to me to go to like the shows because I would be lost. So I think the only thing that I wanted to do that I didn't get to was the Toy Story stuff. The line for that was crazy. So they had an app and it showed you the wait times in the app. So most of them, if it was like 30 minutes or less, I would go to it. And then since it was just me, I not skip the line, but like usually they'll be like, oh, we need just one person. Then I could just walk ahead. But yeah, the Toy Story one, that was, I think the best I seen that line was like 45 minutes. And on my way out, I was like, all right, it's the last thing. Maybe I'll stand in line. But it was over an hour. I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna attempt. But I did Tokyo Disney. I didn't make it to Universal for like the Harry Potter or Mario stuff because that was in like Osaka and that's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
But when I went to so I was getting my train ticket, my bullet train ticket to go down there. Um, I could get the train ticket, but the park was sold out, and I didn't realize the park ticket sold out so quickly. So yeah, I fumbled that one, so I didn't make it out there. But I still had a good time regardless.
At least you've discovered it was sold out before you went down there.
Oh yeah, I would have been so sick. Yeah,
because
because
that
that's
would
like
have
a
been
2 hour
crazy.
train ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it was still other stuff to do down there, but
Yeah.
the main mission, I would have missed the main mission. Yeah, I went to it's called Joypolis, so it's basically like a Sega indoor theme park. So there's
nice.
like Sonic. There's even an Attack on Titan ride in there. So I got on that for sure. And then typical arcade type stuff that was in there. I think it's like one of the biggest indoor theme parks in Japan. So yeah, I went to that called Joypolis. So that was a good time too. And I did a bunch of other stuff like shopping and random stuff. And I picked you guys up some things from Japan. So yeah, I got well, I sent Jaja his, and then I'll give you yours when I see you at Anime NYC, Shannon. So
super excited about that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. James cares about us. Yay.
Yeah, I seen some stuff. I was like, oh, these guys will love this. Then I watched the Attack on Titan finale, of course. Actually, I watched that while I was in Japan. I just pulled it up on my iPad.
Ooh. Oh my God, living the dream.
Well, I didn't go to, there was like live, well, not live showing, well, I guess they were live showing, but there were like places that were showing it, but they weren't subtitled. So I was like, oh, well, what's the point? So I didn't end up going to those, but I did see them and I was interested in going, but yeah, they were not subtitled. So I'd have been lost in the sauce. But yeah, since being back home, I picked up a new Spider-Man comic. So Miles Morales, because he is Spider-Man. Well, number 11 now. He still has this sword.
Sir.
I got to figure out what's going on with his sword. So I'm gonna read it eventually. I think after I beat the Spider-Man game, because I've been playing that this week too. I'm getting pretty far along. I think I'm like 70% or so.
Ooh, you're way further than I am.
Yeah, so I'm at the part properly with Venom now. So getting pretty far along in that. The suits in that game, incredible. They put a lot of suits in there. What else did I do? Oh, I watched the Marvels yesterday. I watched that. And we got Anime NYC coming up. So yeah, looking forward to that. This is on Friday, so I'll be out there Friday. I should be back home in time to record next week because I think my flight is early on Sunday. So
okay,
I should be fine.
I was gonna ask if you were going to Sunday or so you're just going Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. What have I been doing? My week has been, guys, I've had a terrible week this week. I will not lie to you.
Sorry
My week has been so bad, but it's fine. So I haven't really been, so I played Spider-Man yesterday. I turned it on for like the first time in a week and a half. So I played some of it yesterday. I'm way behind you, James. I'm like 40% through the game. So, it's fine. I did watch Loki, the season finale. I watched Attack on Titan last week. I watched the Marvels on Friday. Is that all I did? I think so. Yeah. Oh, you'll be happy to know that I am cosplaying on Friday for Anime NYC.
Oh, nice. Care to share or
no?
Right.
You'll see it. We'll talk about it.
Surprise.
It's like it's first of all, it's not anything super creative. It's a very basic cosplay, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see about 50 other people in the same costume, but it's fine. It's my first time, so it's cool. Whatever.
Nice.
So
cosplaying as well.
Yeah. So I'm also going with one of my friends from work, and she's cosplaying as Wedding Bowser from the Super Mario movie. So I was gonna cosplay as Wedding Peach, but I couldn't find the stuff, so I'm doing something completely different. But that was an attempt that we were trying to do, but it didn't work out that way. So it's all just gonna be a big jumble of characters, which is fine. Whatever. So yeah, I'm doing that for the first time. See how that goes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool. James, what time are you getting? What time are you getting there on Friday? I don't even know what time it starts. Honestly,
the con, I have no idea. Yeah. That's a good question.
Anime NYC hours.
It usually starts sometime like early afternoon, right? Like I'm
Does it
assuming
start in the
like
afternoon?
11,
I thought it starts in the
12.
morning.
Probably. Maybe
Actually,
earlier.
no. On Friday, it starts at 2:00, 2 to 8.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Saturday is like a full day, 10 to 7, but I will not be there on Saturday. So
yeah, 10 11 is what I was thinking about.
yeah. I wonder like what panels and stuff are going on. I have to like actually look.
Yeah, I didn't look at any of that.
I haven't looked at any of it either. But you'll have time to do all that stuff. I feel like since I'm only going on Friday, I won't have a ton of time to do panels but I'm trying not to spend a lot of money, so maybe I shouldn't look at merch. Maybe that's not what I will spend my time doing.
Y'all gotta get some Blerds and Nerds content done out there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take a pic in our cosplays.
I'm sure James is gonna have some cool cosplay on, and everyone's gonna want to take a picture of him and draw fan art of him and all this stuff. So we'll get some good content. We'll get some good content of that.
You're gonna see James on the stage, and he's gonna be in one of the panels.
Maybe so. Hey, maybe it'll reimburse me for my badge.
And me and James are going to the Plus Ultra after party. Except James is gonna be James is gonna be in VIP because he's too fancy for us general admission people. I'm gonna be in general admission, but it'll be fine.
General admission.
we got to work on the media badge for next year for all the cons.
You know what? I wish I had, guys. We need some sponsors because I need to hire someone to do our social media. It's so much work to like cut clips for TikTok.
MegaCon is next up. It's in March. It's down here, so y'all want to meet up for that.
MegaCon is in March in Florida. Ooh, maybe actually.
Applications in.
I think it's like February or March. I think it's March.
I could turn that into a Disney weekend too. Let's see.
Yeah. Next year, I'm trying to hit all the cons.
I looked that up. No, not mega contracting. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go as Aaron to each one. I'm gonna be Aaron.
You should build some like authentic, legit ODM gear.
For real, like the real.
It's in February, Jaja. It's February 1st through the 4th.
February. Boom.
Oh my god. Advanced tickets are only single day tickets are only $25. Wow, that's great. That's great. I should get that. That's much cheaper than like cons up here. It's crazy. Oh, never mind. Thursday is $25. Friday's $41. Okay, that's more normal. Whatever, it's still not that bad. Okay. I think about that. Maybe I'll go to that. Yeah.
I gotta hit them up for the media badge. I'm gonna see what I can do.
You should. Some places are easier to get press passes than others. I feel like there should be a link to apply for press. We should actually try. I remember a couple years ago I tried to get press passes to Comic-Con. Didn't get any, but it's fine. It's cool. We'll get there eventually, guys. All right, let's get into some stuff that happened this week. So there's not a lot going on in video game news unless I'm missing some stuff. So if I am, guys, feel free to chime in with your stories. But
real quick, the November games for Game Pass or just general releases, I'm excited for 2 in general. They Ninja Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, just came out November 9th. So I plan on getting into that if you're into the whole Yakuza games thing. And then Wild Hearts just dropped on Game Pass. So nice. That's like I guess you could compare it to Monster Hunter. Something like that. You go around fighting big monsters, but it's supposed to be more like techie, more like advanced than Monster Hunter in terms of like tech and gear that you use. But those are 2 games that I'm looking forward to real quick.
When's that violent?
There's some other interesting ones. I feel like if you have Game Pass, Shannon, you should check out Thirsty Suitors. It's supposed to be like a RPG type game, but they said the story is pretty interesting and it looks interesting. I might check it out.
When is that Pokemon ripoff game coming out? The one where they shoot each other with guns. What game? What's that game called?
I was watching a video on it. I think it's been delayed because they're focusing. The same studio is working on another game, and it's like an open world. It looks like The Witcher. I forgot the name of the game, but they're like focusing on this game to get it out first before they drop that game. So I think it's been delayed. But I just watched a video on it. That's funny that you mentioned that.
I don't remember what it's called. I typed in violent Pokemon game and a whole bunch of other stuff came out.
No shortage of options there.
I'll try and find it before we get off video games.
Okay. Well, since we're coming up on the holiday season, guys, it's like right around the corner so fast. and tis the season of new consoles or in between consoles. Valve has announced that they are releasing the Steam Deck OLED, which is not a Steam Deck 2, but it's an in-between version, kind of like the Switch OLED or this stupid slim PlayStation 5 that's coming out. So there are some improvements with the Steam Deck over the launch version, but there's no improvement in the overall performance of the console. But it does have a OLED display. It has a little bit of a bigger screen. The original model had a 7-inch display, and this one has 7.4 HDR OLED screen. It has better audio, and the battery life has improved, which is kind of big because the battery life on the Steam Deck is kind of like almost non-existent. I feel like you get 45 minutes of good gameplay before you have to plug it in and charge it. So kind of similar to the Switch, but has 30 to 50% improvement on the battery life of the original Steam Deck, and it charges faster as well. I lost my train of thought. Did I say that? Yes. Okay. There's no more touchscreen on the new model. It's just a regular screen now, with the OLED display. And there's, like I said, there's no notable performance improvements, but there's an increased refresh rate on the OLED display. But it still offers like a standard 1280 by 800 resolution. So do with that as you will. For people that don't have a Steam Deck, that were trying to decide between a Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, I guess you can compare this newer model to the ROG Ally. I still think the ROG Ally has some advantages over the Steam Deck. So, but if you're a Steam Deck loyalist and you want another device for whatever reason, you can get the OLED device. With the launch of the OLED device, the original Steam Decks are going down in price. So the 64 gigabyte model is now going down to $349, where it originally cost $400. The 256 model is going down to $399 from $529, which is actually a big decrease in price. So that's pretty cool. And the 512 gigabyte model is $500 down from $649. So a $150 price drop, which is cool compared to the Switch, which when the Switch OLED came out, and there was no decrease to the original Switch. So that's pretty cool that they're offering such a big price drop. So since there's not much performance improvements from the original to the OLED, if you don't have a Steam Deck and you're looking to get a handheld gaming PC, it's a good price drop right up for the holidays. So yeah, pre-orders for the new Steam Deck starts on November 17th. I don't know when it's actually coming out though, but you can pre-order it starting on the 17th. So for those
Are
of
you
you
still using? I'm sorry, I'm my bad for cutting you off,
no,
Shannon.
go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, are you still using your Steam Deck? Like,
I am.
how's that going?
I am still using it. Still have not beat Zelda on it yet. Well,
what's
guys,
the update?
I haven't played it in a while, I will say.
Okay.
Especially now since Spider-Man's out, I've gone back to my PlayStation 5 for a bit because before I was just playing the Steam Deck and I had not touched my PlayStation in like months. So like Spider-Man is the first time I've turned on my PlayStation in literally months. So taking a break from the Steam Deck, and I'm kind of gonna be I'm gonna be on a PlayStation kick for a while because after I'm done with Spider-Man, I need to finish Final Fantasy VII before the part 2 of the remake comes out in February. So I have some time that I have to put in on the PlayStation. But Steam Deck's good. It's fine. It's great.
Did you I know you were trying to beat the last Zelda before you jumped into the new Zelda. Did you actually buy the new Zelda and not play it? Or?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not bought it yet.
I was gonna say.
And to be quite honest, guys, well, maybe because I just haven't played Zelda in a while. I have to actually finish the game, but like now I'm not gonna say I have no interest in buying the new one, but it's kind of like in the back of my mind. But yeah. I'm gonna get it eventually and play it eventually. James, did you ever finish the game or no?
Not Zelda.
Okay.
After Spider-Man, I think I'll beat that because I don't think anything else is coming out that I want to play anytime soon. So
yeah, you have time to kill.
Yeah.
You could finish Elden Ring. I never finished Elden Ring. Did you finish Elden Ring, Jaja? No, I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Not even one full
Absolutely not. Me neither.
I'm gonna start Lies of P though. That's the next Soul-like game I'm gonna try and complete.
What game?
Lies of P.
I don't
it's
know.
On Game Pass.
Okay.
The Pinocchio, like It's like a dark fantasy Pinocchio theme. Like
Not
there's
really.
wooden puppets that you're killing, and it's like Dark Souls. It's very similar to you collecting weapons and gear, and it's very
So
similar to Elden Ring and Dark Souls.
this looks scary. I'm not playing this game. Is
It
this a horror
is.
game?
It's Dark Souls. Dark Souls is scary.
Dark Souls is scary. I played like 10 minutes of Dark Souls once. Or no, I played like 10 minutes of Demon Souls. That's what I played. And I had to stop. I was like, I'm good. I'm good on this. But this looks cool. Is this only on Xbox?
Yeah. I saw on Game Pass, so I think it might be.
But it's only on. Oh no. They have it for PlayStation. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out.
I wonder if this looks cool. Maybe I'll play this. I'm lying.
Yeah, it's really cool. You should check it out.
Ew, look at this monster. No, I don't know. We'll see. we'll see. I really want to finish Elden Ring, guys, but I feel like too much time has passed, and I don't know. I'm not gonna remember how to play the game when I turn it back on. So
Will I be the first one to beat Elden Ring after you guys begged me to get it for like a year?
Oh please, you're not gonna. What was the last time that you played Elden Ring?
You know
A
how
year
many
ago?
people I've
Like, it's been a
told to
year.
play Elden Ring, and then I go and talk to them, and they're like, "Yo, I'm on my fifth playthrough." I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Like
guys,
multiple people. That's happened to me.
I think I forgot how to play it. But I don't I can't start that game from the beginning. I absolutely cannot. So it's like I'm gonna have to when I turn it back on, I'm gonna have to just spend a good amount of time getting reacquainted with how to play because I refuse to start over. I refuse. It took everything in me to get where I am in that game. Constant stress that I cannot do over. So I will not be.
Just start Lies of P.
Just start Lies of P.
Yeah.
Another
stressful game.
Another Dark Souls game that's gonna be too hard and frustrating for me to finish. We'll see. I'll check to see if it's on PlayStation whatever because I'm not gonna buy it. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Cool. Speaking of games that are selling, even though that's not what we're talking about. Spider-Man 2. So Spider-Man 2 has officially, so in its first 11 days of launch, and I think we talked about this a little bit on the last episode we did. It's sold over 5 million copies in 11 days. So I will say, I love the game. It's great, but I've heard a lot of people critique it and kind of call it like a copy and paste of the first one in terms of gameplay and things like that. I mean, which it is, but the story is good. I don't know, James, do you feel that way?
No, I think it's all heat. There are like quality of life changes from the first game, but
Yeah.
I mean the combat is a little bit different. I mean, I don't know if people wanted a completely different combat system. That would have kind of defeated the purpose. But
It would have.
yeah, there's a lot of things that are different about it that I do enjoy. Even switching Spider-Man, and then like the side mission styles, because some games like from the first to the sequel, like your side missions are the same. Like even the crimes you stop, stuff like that are the same. But they switched up the different crimes you stop. There's different factions of sort of criminals, I guess.
Yeah, the map is bigger.
Yeah, the map's bigger. Traversal is much different.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you can still swing around, of course, because you're Spider-Man, but like you have web wings now, so you can fly literally. You have like your spider jump, your spider dash. I think that's what those are called. But yeah, stuff like that. And then I think, well, Miles, you still have your invisibility powers, but Peter, he has his spider arms, so that helps out a lot too. That's a little bit different. And then of course when you have your symbiote on you, you can do symbiote stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's just a copy paste.
Yeah, it's much different. Yeah, and the story is good. And I do like how you can switch characters and like there are certain side missions that are only, applicable to one character. It's cool. It's a good game. So I don't know what people are talking about.
It's my vote for game of the year, honestly.
I was literally just about to ask you if you think it should get game of the year. So there you go. You answered my question.
For sure. Yeah. The story is insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything for you, but like as you get further along, you're like, okay, this actually would have been a fire movie, but like even as a game, like this is a fire game.
Yeah. A lot of people think that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to get game of the year, which I haven't played, but a lot of people are saying is really good.
Oh yeah.
Can we do our game of the year and anime list? Because there's a lot of games up for game of the year this year. Like too many to be even not like some are gonna get left out.
So we can. I'm not gonna be able to contribute much to it because I haven't been playing a lot of games this year, but for sure. We can do that.
Well, I haven't played all of them, but this is speculation. This is,
I feel like you can't speculate game of the year if you haven't played the game, but we'll see.
I
Yeah.
think you can.
Okay.
Definitely.
Is anyone
You
playing?
haven't played Starfield, but it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year.
I guess so. Yeah. Strictly off the hype. Has
So-
anyone played Baldur's Gate 3 or no?
No,
Nah.
but from what I've heard of it, that's up there.
Yeah,
I'm
a lot of
super
people
hyped to play it.
a lot of people are saying that that's going to be game of the year. But yeah, I have a friend who's playing it, but I have not played it at all.
So if you just to remind real quick, if you want one of those games, the Pokemon-like game where you're shooting up the animals and stuff, there's actually 2 of them coming out soon.
Really?
And one is called Power World, and that's the one I think you were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
But
That's it.
But there's another one called Dokev, Dokev, and that's another one that looks pretty cool, but it's a very similar premise. But it's the video game company that's working on Dokev. They're working on a different game. That's why that one's not coming out this soon. But that one's supposed to be coming to PC.
Oh no,
But
this
they
one
both
looks
look.
No, this
They
one looks
both
weird.
look.
This one
They
looks
both
weird.
look bad.
No.
I
This one
like
looks
the way
weird.
both of them look.
This one looks weird. This one doesn't look like Pokemon. This just looks like weird stuff.
Creatures.
So sorry. I
Interesting.
had to find that before we got off video games.
Oh, this animation is creepy. I hate it.
But I think it's Power World is the one that
Yeah,
we
that's
were
the one I'm
looking
talking
at.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else
Still
going on?
jealous I can't play Spider-Man.
It's okay. You'll play it eventually, Jaja.
Yeah, eventually. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my hands on it somehow.
Eventually.
And I actually went to Best Buy the other day, and I was tempted to get the ROG right there. They had it on display. I was looking at it. I had it in my hands. I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the one. This is it." So yeah,
He's getting closer.
soon. Yeah. Yep.
Any other video game news before we move on? So the tons of TV movie news we have to talk about this week.
I think that's the end of the video game news,
That's it.
as well as the end of the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Yes. Good
Round of
transition,
applause.
James. And round of applause for the strike. Finally, after 118 days, which is the longest strike that SAG-AFTRA has ever had, surpassing the current longest standing in 1980, which was 95 days. But yeah, so writer strike is over, actor strike is over. All of our stuff is delayed, but it looks like it won't be. It looks like it won't be delayed too much longer. So that's good. Maybe things will even come back on track now that the writers are back from the anticipated delay. We'll see. So, but that's good news. Good news. I'm glad that they were able to reach a deal that makes them happy. So happy-ish. So that's good. That's good.
Yep.
In a contract valued at over $1 billion in new wages and benefit plan funding, they've achieved a deal that includes above pattern minimum compensation increases, unprecedented provisions for consent and compensation that will protect members from the threat of AI, and for the first time establishing a streaming participation bonus. So that's really good. Pension and health caps have been substantially raised. And the deal includes numerous improvements for multiple categories, including outsized compensation increases for background performers and critical contract provisions protecting diverse communities. That's great. That all sounds good. It sounds like they got they got mostly all of what they were asking for. So that's great. That's great to hear.
Hopefully it works out.
Yeah, hopefully it works out. I haven't heard anything new about this video game actor strike that was pending. I think that's still on track to happen. So just one thing after another with these things. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm glad that the strike is over and that we get to have our shows and the actors get paid a fair wage.
The most important part of it all.
Yeah, exactly. The most important part. But yeah, shows. Never mind. I was trying to do a transition to the next thing. Couldn't do it. Cut this part out.
Now that they got the SAG-AFTRA deal done, we can start talking about all these new shows that were delayed and now they're coming out, like Avatar.
Yes, we got a trailer for Avatar, which I will say doesn't look terrible from the trailer, but I don't trust any trailers anymore to deliver me the truth of what a show is going to be.
So far, so good. It's on track.
Yeah, I mean, it is on track. So we got the first teaser trailer, but when is the show coming out? Does it say at the end? Let's see. No. Oh wait, hold on.
It just says 2024.
February 22nd is when Avatar
Oh.
will be coming out to Netflix.
Oh, okay, nice.
Couple months.
Yeah, the trailer looks good. I mean, the actors that they got to portray the characters, it seems pretty spot on. So, especially the character that's playing Iroh, I think is very spot on to his animated look. So, hopefully it's good. Again, I have to remind everyone that the original creators of this show walked away from the project, so there was a reason for that. So let's not get our hopes too high.
Let's remind everybody that this is also a live action anime, and we know we're hit or miss with those. And hopefully this one's a hit. We don't know if Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action one, is going to be a miss, a hit or a miss. But I'm a little.
It's a good.
I'm scared to watch that trailer. I haven't watched the trailer. I'm not gonna lie.
Is Avatar is Avatar an actual anime though? I feel like this is a thing that's up for debate.
Yes.
Okay. The creators are American, so I don't know if that what makes an anime an anime. I feel like we've talked about this before.
Does
it have to be made? Does it have to be made by
Japan? Has to come from
Japan.
I guess it has to come from like Japan, because like similar cartoons that come out of like China or Korea, they're not called anime, right?
No.
They called something else. I forget the word.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I don't know. We got to deep dive into that. We'll save that for another pod. But that's a good topic.
I think it has to come from Japan to make it an anime. A Japanese cartoon.
I feel like anime. The word anime has evolved to just cover all of that stuff. I will argue that, but anyway.
Okay, so the official definition of anime is a style of Japanese film and television animation, typically aimed at adults as well as children. So I would say if it didn't come from Japan, it's not an anime. Let's call it an American anime.
Wait, time out. That definition didn't say it had to come from Japan. It said it's a style of Japanese, the way they do it. So as long as you do it in that style.
No. What? But no. But I mean,
it didn't say I have to be born in Japan and do this in Japan for it to be an anime.
True.
It's a style. So yeah.
True. I mean,
the word has evolved.
I'm gonna call Avatar American anime. It's a hybrid.
That's fine.
It's a hybrid.
You gotta throw it in there with Dragon Ball Z though.
What do you mean? Dragon Ball Z is Japanese.
Not bad. Yeah, that was a bad comparison.
I was like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Yeah, okay, but cool. It is drawn in traditional anime style, so I guess we can give you that there. I guess.
Anime inspired. Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, we'll see. You know what else is coming out soon? Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action, is coming out. Is anyone excited about that? I feel like no one's talking about it, so I don't know.
Not excited.
Why is that?
I'm just I'm not. I mean, I'm biased, I guess, because I haven't seen the whole Yu Yu Hakusho anime, and it's on my list. It's been on my list for a minute, and I did try and watch it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not into that anime, so I can't really. I got no hype for it. So
I never watched it, so I'm not excited for it either.
Neither of you guys seen it?
Also, no.
It's a classic.
This live action.
I know it's a classic. Like from the clips and little bits that I've seen, like it should be one of those ones that I've seen. Like,
yeah,
but it's similar to One Piece. Like trying to go back and watch it today, the animation is just like it's cringe, but it is what it is.
The visuals of the live action don't look as great as One Piece did. I don't know. I just feel like this show has a lot of pressure on the tails of One Piece to be a good show, but I just don't I just don't know. But again, I've never even seen the original, so I have no opinions on it. Like if I watch it, I'm not gonna know what to compare it to. So I'm gonna compare it on the style. I'm gonna compare it on the visuals alone. That's gonna be my only comparison. We'll see.
I've seen it,
To
and
be
the trailer doesn't
determined.
look too compelling.
Oh wait, what'd you say, James?
I said I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but the trailer here doesn't look too compelling.
Yeah, it looks
Like
just
I may check it out, but I won't go out of my way to check it out. It comes out next month, so December 14th, I think.
yeah, literally exactly 1 month from when this podcast comes out. So yeah, great.
Yeah, I don't think they had as big of a budget as One Piece did.
No, probably not. Actually, no, that's probably 100% certain that they did not. Yeah. So we'll see. But again, just because one live action anime was a success doesn't mean that they all are. The industry of live action anime is deeply flawed. So I don't know, just because one was good, that all the rest of them will be good. It'll probably take a while before we get another decent one. We'll see.
Yeah, before we get some consistency.
Yeah, for sure. There's a certain recipe that needs to be followed, and I feel like if you can't follow it, then it's not gonna be great. But whatever, we'll see. Speaking of live action adaptations, Nintendo has announced that they are planning to make a Zelda live action movie after the Mario. Actually, I don't know if it's live action or if it's just a movie
Video
in general.
game adaptation.
Video game adaptation.
Similar.
Not live action. It doesn't say. So just a Zelda movie. Which I'm down for. Zelda has a great plot that can be turned into many movies easily. So that's a better thing to adapt than Hot Wheels or wherever else they were planning. Like Mattel after like Barbie's success says that they want to make a whole Mattel universe, which doesn't make sense. But this is a good thing to make into a movie, I think.
Yeah.
So as long as they do it right, I'm fine with that. I think Zelda will make a great live action movie. I hope they make it not like animated and they make it live action.
Question: did Zelda speak in the video game?
He
You
just
mean
grunts.
you mean did Link speak in the
Link?
video games?
I mean, Link. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, he just grunts.
I
Okay,
guess so.
alright.
That's a good point though.
Yeah. I'm just,
That's a good point.
I'm just gonna shut up.
Well, I mean, we have Boji, and
Yeah, Bochi doesn't talk.
well, Boji
Boji,
at least tries to communicate with people. Link, he kind of just stands there majority of the time.
I mean, I guess I would have to change that though. He would have to speak in these movies, but I wonder if like people will be upset about that.
Oh, there will be
I'm
furious.
gonna be upset.
But you also can't be so like, why even go see the movie if you're gonna be upset if he talks? Because I feel like if you were
I'm
watching,
probably not gonna go see this movie. I'm not excited for it. I don't care.
but
for
you
it,
haven't
though.
even, but you haven't even seen a trailer or anything like that.
I'm good.
All right, we'll see when they release this trailer for this movie in a year, and I feel like Jaja's gonna be the first one on the train. On the I'm gonna see this train.
Hey, I mean, my opinion can change.
He'll be
It
wearing a
can.
Zelda hat and everything.
I just feel like it's too early to tell. Honestly, nothing has been done yet. It's just announced, so I feel like if they do it right,
It's like, what is the Zelda story? Like, is there a real good story behind the video game? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, they got some good stories. I guess it depends on which game they adapt.
yeah.
Okay,
That's true.
all right, cool.
Which
Cool.
game would you want to see them adapt?
I want one of the Breath of the Wilds. But I mean, the OGs, those are probably what they'll go to first. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get the biggest audience you can, you probably got to go with the most current storylines.
True. I'm just trying to say, is there enough substance? And like Breath of the Wild was a great game, obviously.
Like-
But is there enough substance in the plot for them to? I mean, I guess you just take it and expand on it, but like still.
That's my point, though. Like the fact that like I don't know what the main plot of Zelda is a question. Like Mario is like, we know Mario's going to save the princess, Bowser, da 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 da. Like you can loosely fit together what the plot could be. But with Zelda, what the heck what is this Zelda story? Like I don't even
You're saving
know.
the princess.
I feel like they could take
I
like
guess.
I feel like they could take like Majora's Mask and turn it into like something.
Yeah. Well, I
feel
mean,
like they
yeah,
could
most of them you're
implement it.
definitely like you're saving the princess. Even Breath of the Wild is you're still saving the princess. Like you got to go through your beasts. So that's 4 different, I guess, story arcs within the movie, and then the actual last fight with Ganon. So
Yeah.
I think it could work out.
They would just have to like take it and like put a whole bunch of additional context in there. in some way.
Yeah.
Because and yeah, they would have to give Link some actual dialogue. He would actually have to talk. So I don't know. People are gonna have to just be on board with that.
More
I
will be
guess.
revealed.
That's probably their biggest decision is, are we gonna make this guy talk?
Yeah. They're gonna have to. You can't have a movie without him speaking. Then,
But hey,
what?
it continues our Smash Bros. Universe theory.
Yeah.
Still alive and
Smash Bros.
strong.
Cinematic Universe.
Smash Bros. Universe. Ridiculous. You think they're gonna make a Smash Brothers movie? That
Yes.
sounds crazy to me.
Yes.
Because what is the plot? What would be the plot of that movie? Explain it.
All
Explain it to me.
these different heroes coming from all their universes into this tournament, and we fighting. That's it.
Oh, that
Throwing
just
hands.
sounds.
You gotta fight the master hand.
You ever seen the Dragon Ball Z tournament arc, the universe tournament? It's gonna
Yes,
be like that.
yes.
Everybody's gonna be sitting on the bench waiting for they.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. That just sounds so unappealing. But we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, we'll follow the updates of that movie as it comes along. Again, nothing. It's just been announced. Nothing's been done yet, so we have no clue like what actually is happening. So we'll see. It won't be coming out in 2024, along with a lot of other movies that were delayed. In fact, Marvel, because of the delays of the writers' strike and probably other things as well, we're only getting one MCU movie next year in the year of 2024, and that one movie is Deadpool. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of happy about this because I definitely am on some kind of a Marvel burnout, especially after watching the Marvels. I think this is going to be a good
I feel from the previews and everything, Deadpool 3 is hyping up to be like a huge deal.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's looking like it's gonna be like pulling people from different universes, kind of setting up Secret Wars. So I'm super hyped for Deadpool 3.
Well, I'm hyped for it too, as long as they do it right. I feel like this is finally gonna be the anchor that like propels everything, because like all throughout like phase 4 and 5, we've been getting like these little X-Men hints or whatever, but we're like, when is this actually gonna come to fruition? I feel like this is probably the movie, so they just need to do it correctly and execute it correctly in order to, I don't know, successfully launch whatever their plans are. Who knows at this point? I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that it's the only movie coming out in 2024, and I think Echo is the only show coming out in 2024 as well. So I'm happy about that.
They're gonna be strapped for cash next year.
We'll see. I feel like it could change, but we'll see.
I think it needs.
I'm not mad at it either way.
Yeah, I think it needs to stay that way. Don't give us anything else. I'm done for now. You know what we should have done? Marvel should have gone on a hiatus after Endgame came out. They should have gone on a 2-year hiatus and gave people time to miss them before they just threw a whole bunch of trash at us. That's what I think.
I do not agree with you on that.
I agree with me on that.
They could have gave us the good shows. Loki, we absolutely needed Loki.
Yeah, we did, but we didn't need all the other things.
Anything that I'm into, do not pause for 2 years. Please keep pumping out your.
No, but like then the quality has greatly diminished, guys. I think that they needed time.
I don't agree with that, but
you don't think the quality of
one
Marvel?
of the best shows that I've ever seen in my life. Forget Marvel.
Okay,
Loki is one of the greatest shows ever.
Okay, but we're talking about one show. One show. And how many shows they've given us over the last few years, the quality has greatly diminished. Jaja, you just have very unpopular opinions, because a lot of people would agree that most of the shows have been suboptimal. But Loki was good. I agree. But I just feel like they could have given us a break, given us time to miss them, so they could really think about and come up with how they want to execute their next phase of things. And then they could have had a massive comeback where everyone was waiting and there was anticipation. I feel like it would have been better that way. But it's cool. We got what we got. So, we'll see. So Daredevil's coming out in July of 2024. So that's actually not that far from now. It's in a few months. So we'll be getting that soonish. Yeah. And we also got an Echo trailer, which actually, for someone who didn't really care about Echo at all, and I feel like I still don't, the trailer actually doesn't look bad. So it seems like it'll be interesting. but it also seems like it's one of those things that has nothing to do with anything. So we'll see.
Yeah, I might miss that one.
I am super hyped for Echo.
Yep. Jaja
It had Kingpin all over it. They might as well have named it Kingpin. That's gonna be a Kingpin show. I saw one scene, Daredevil's gonna pop up. This show is setting up Daredevil's intro, and hopefully Kingpin just does his thing. But I'm super hyped for that show. Love Kingpin.
I am more intrigued than I was before, because before I'm like, who asked for this show? But the trailer does look good. I'll watch it, I guess. And that show comes out in January, so we're a couple months away from that as well. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I might be proven wrong. It might be a good show. It might be a good show. We'll see. But speaking of Marvel good shows and good movies, The Marvels came out this past week and had a poor opening day box office number. It's coming in as the second lowest grossing opening day of all the Marvel projects to date. There have been 32 Marvel movies over the span of however many years, and it is the second lowest opening after The Incredible Hulk, which had the lowest opening day of all the MCU projects so far. So it's also a steep drop off from the original Captain Marvel, which had an opening weekend number of $153 million in 2019. So opening day brought in roughly $21.5 million, which includes $6.6 million in Thursday previews. So I believe this because when I went to see this movie on a Friday night, there were people in there, but it was nowhere near packed. And that was like very surprising to me for an opening MCU day film. So I was very surprised.
I don't think it's the movie's quality is what it is. I think they have very bad timing. Poor judgment on this one. Like we're just coming off of Halloween weekend. You got Loki season finale ending, which is going to be a big deal. Forget Attack on Titan. I just think it was like a lot going on this weekend.
I don't know. I just think it was low hype for the movie, to be quite honest with you.
And because they couldn't promote it. They couldn't promote it with
going on.
Strike.
I mean, I don't even think it was a promotion thing, because like if you're an MCU fan, you should know this movie is coming out. I just think that people weren't excited for it, to be honest.
I think there's that too.
It could be a little bit of both.
Yeah, it definitely could be a little bit of both. But I mean, because like I went into it, I wasn't excited for it, but I just saw it but I'm gonna see it. So, but I didn't have any high expectations going into it, as I've learned to not have high expectations for Marvel projects recently. So I just go in neutral and see where it takes me. The only thing I was really excited for was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and that did not disappoint at all, even a little bit. So that was great. But that was an anomaly because it was James Gunn. But I went into this film with low expectations, and without spoiling too much, I came out with an indifferent attitude towards it. I'm not going to say I loved it, because I didn't love it. Did I hate it? No. But I think I'm solidly in the middle. James, without giving too much away, what were you? Where are you on a scale? On a scale of I loved it and I hate it, where are you on there? What are you leaning more towards?
Yeah, about the midpoint. I didn't think it was bad. I actually kind of liked it.
Did you liked it, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Even that one
That
part
was cool.
where they
had some cringy dialogue for sure, but I think it was a cool movie.
Even the one part with certain melodic tones. I'm trying not to give away things for Jaja. Did you enter? Because that part,
I was like, man, Shannon's gonna love this part.
No, I absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated it. I hated it. But,
so it sounds like you hate the movie.
No, I don't hate the movie. The movie was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was literally solid in the middle. Just solidly in the middle.
Playing it real safe. I can't wait to see this movie. So
man, I give it a 7 out of 10.
7? Wait, is that your real score?
7?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's better than that last Thor movie.
Oh, it was better than the Thor movie, but not by much.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna love this movie.
Not by much.
If y'all had to guess, what rating am I gonna give it?
Probably 11. Knowing you.
I was gonna be about a 9.5.
9.5. Oh yeah, let's go.
I gotta see it again. Maybe I was bitter. Like I said, I had a very bad week
What?
this
You
week,
want to
guys.
see it again?
No,
You
because
love this movie.
no,
Stop.
no, not
Just
because
say it.
because
Woman power.
no, because I had a very indifferent opinion toward it, but a lot of people actually liked it. But like I said, I had a very bad week this week, so I feel like I went into the movie bitter, and I just couldn't allow myself to enjoy it. So maybe I need to watch it again. I don't know, guys.
Did y'all have time? Daylight savings time
Yes.
last weekend.
Mhm.
I
We
feel
all
like
did.
that had something to do with this week as well.
I don't think so. I just had a lot of other stuff going on, but I went into, so maybe I just need to watch the movie again and go into it. Maybe I need to meditate beforehand and just be open to it. I don't know. I don't know.
Read some Photon comics.
I just think that there were certain parts in there that just didn't need to be there. But we also got some great surprises. So not giving anything away. We'll talk about it next week when you see it, Jaja, today. But I think you're gonna like it.
I'm gonna love this movie. I'm just letting everybody know right now. Go see this movie. Jaja is gonna love this movie. If you're into my takes, go see this movie.
Some things are finally coming together. That's all I'll say. So we'll see. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to. I'm looking
And we got
forward to
some
seeing your
Monica
thoughts.
Rambeau.
Yeah, obviously, but we'll see what Jada thinks about
Okay,
it.
so we got a 7 and a. You didn't give us a number, Shannon.
Oh, I give it a 6.
Okay. Boo. No one can make any type of determination off of you guys' review.
I will say though, what the hell? Sorry, and this is not really spoiling anything. I don't know if it's spoiling anything, but it's really not because I'm not talking about the movie. I'm more so talking about Secret Invasion. What was the point of that show? Somebody please tell me, because in the grand scheme of things, it amounted to absolutely nothing. But that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Do you agree, James?
Yeah, pretty much actually. Now that I think about it, we got introduced to this. Well, were the Skrulls there before Secret Invasion? Because
Yeah.
I mean, the Skrulls showed up in the movie, but yeah, other than
But
that,
you feel like you would have heard.
Wait, don't spoil nothing.
No, we're not spoiling anything. We're not spoiling. This is not a spoiler because it didn't happen. But I'm just saying, like, you would think that the events of Secret Invasion would have been mentioned in some way or form in that movie, and absolutely nothing was said about anything that happened in Secret Invasion. So who knows? I don't. It was a waste. What's the
yeah,
point?
since Secret Invasion has ended, I don't think any of the show, not even Loki, has mentioned like, oh, Nick Fury was doing his thing out here in Russia. Like, yeah, there's been no kind of consequences, but also no benefits of Secret
Wait, so
Invasion.
there's no Skrulls that pop up in the Marvels?
No, there are Skrulls in the Marvels, but like
Okay.
they don't mention anything about what happened in Secret Invasion at all. So it's kind of just like what Nick Fury doesn't mention it at all, not even a little bit. I'm assuming this takes place after Secret Invasion. I'm assuming. But yeah, nothing was mentioned. So it's kind of just like, what was the point of everything that happened in that show? But we'll see. I'll let you watch it and you can give your opinion, Jaja. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to spoil anything else. It wasn't a spoiler, but I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for you.
Got it.
So we'll see. I'm looking forward to your thoughts next week. Loki. There's something that wasn't disappointing. Let's talk about the season finale of Loki. It was a very good ending to a show, to a season where I didn't really know where it was going, to be quite honest, but I feel like it wrapped up really nicely. I don't know. Did you guys like it?
Loved it.
Oh, James, you loved it. Was not expecting you to say that because you were very lukewarm on the season as a whole, honestly.
No, I just kept forgetting to watch it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I just kept. Dr. Stone is out too. Dr. Stone comes on Thursdays. That's what I'm looking forward to on Thursdays.
Okay.
And JJK.
Jaja, what did you think?
I absolutely loved it. I already said it earlier.
You did say it.
This is shooting up one of my all-time favorite shows, like across all genres. Like the storytelling in this. I was saying season 2 overall, I think it was better than season 1, but that season 1 ending with He Who Remains and that whole monologue, that's still like one of the best scripted scenes I've ever seen. Like, so the He Who Remains in season 2, it was like, all right, we're getting a different side of it, but it was just like a classic in season 1. But I like the storytelling was just phenomenal.
It was. I still think I preferred season 1 over season 2, but the ending of season 2 was really good, and it did wrap up the season very, very nicely. And it was a good ending for Tom Hiddleston because I think this is his last time playing Loki. I think he said, which is fitting. Seeing like,
wait, we get no more Loki? That's crazy.
Yeah, nope, no more Loki, guys. That's it. I mean, if you look at what happened to him, like he's kind of he's he basically sacrificed his freedom in his life to go just be the center of time. So it makes sense that we're never going to see him again, because like he's holding all the timelines together now.
Makes sense.
It does make sense.
God of storylines, huh?
Yeah. So it's kind of sad because Loki is like one of my favorite characters in the MCU, and I think Tom Hiddleston did a great job playing him. But I mean, I guess this is a good ending for him. I don't really know where he would naturally appear next and like contribute anything to the storyline that actually makes sense. So this was good. It was a very good story. Speaking of,
well, I would imagine that he would pop up in some way or form, just because we still got Secret Wars coming. Are you telling me that happens in a different universe than the one Loki's in?
Well,
and like maybe he has something to do with pulling the heroes from different timelines and different universes, and how Deadpool 3 is going to even be able to go do what he's about to go do. It has to be some type of we got to at least hear Loki's name mentioned.
Well, maybe we'll hear his name mentioned, but I don't think we're going to see him anymore. He's holding the timelines together. He's the king of time, an unseen figure in the middle of everything. So I don't think we're going to see him again, to be honest. Speaking of Tom Hiddleston, just a random in the Marvels, just a random thing. The villain in the Marvels is Tom Hiddleston's wife. So it's very interesting. Fun fact for those who didn't know.
In the Marvels.
Really?
I don't know. Interesting.
Shout out to Tom Hiddleston.
Fun fact. Yeah, but I enjoyed the show. And I think it ended really well.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen from here. There's like no clear direction.
I thought it was interesting that at the end, like they're trying to keep track of all the different Kangs, and then they mentioned that Kang that showed up in Ant-Man.
Yeah, they did. They mentioned that. I missed that the first time, but I actually watched the episode twice, and I caught it the second time I saw it.
And how like, Victor Timely's didn't get the book this time, so he shouldn't, be a threat. But I feel like Victor Timely isn't the origin of Kang. Like, I feel like he was part of the failsafe that, He Who Remains put in to make sure that he would always respawn or reincarnate. I think there's still more to, because we still got more Kang to go. So Kang has to infiltrate this universe somehow. And
somehow, I
I'm
don't know how
interested
though.
to see.
I'm very interested to see where Kang is going to naturally appear next, and like what movie or property. It's not really clear from the lineup of movies that are coming out where he's going to show up next.
I don't think he stopped the multiversal. I think he started it, because as far as like He Who Remains said, if I don't show up back here, all my guys are gonna start spreading out and doing their thing.
Well, yeah, but I just feel like, but like what, like where do you think he's gonna pop up next? Like what movie or show do you think he's gonna be in next?
Oh, what movie or show?
Yeah.
What is next?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't think he's gonna show up in Deadpool. I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't make a lot of sense. But who knows? Well, maybe.
We don't see him till 2025.
Fantastic Four, but who knows? When is that coming out? I have no clue.
That's a good question. When's the next time we're gonna see Kang?
I hope it's not in his movie, because that's in like 4 years from now. 3 years. That comes out. Kang Dynasty comes out in 2026.
Oh, there's that hiatus you wanted, Shannon.
I feel like it's gonna have to be. I feel like Fantastic Four is the place that makes the most sense. No, but like, when is that coming out? Let's see. Let's see if there's a release date. 2025. So, that makes sense. Since Deadpool is the only thing coming out next year, I guess that makes sense that it comes out in 2025. But I feel like that's the next place we'll see him.
That is a great question.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's probably where we'll see him next. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe Marvel will surprise us.
Will return.
Yeah.
You know how they put that in the movies at the end? Like
they should have put that in the show.
Will return.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious.
They didn't do it, so I'm kind of nervous.
He's in the movie. He has his own movie, so who's gonna return eventually? Unless they scrap that. But we'll see. Overall, Loki is without a doubt the best MCU show that they've done. It's definitely the best thing that they've done ever, and it is very worthy of that praise. So we'll see what happens after this, I guess. But yeah. Although I kind of thought Sylvie
And
was a little. I thought
it,
Sylvie was kind of pointless in this season, but whatever. Did anyone else feel that way?
I don't, because it kind of sparks a question, like like the power of choice, right? Because when Loki was trying to fix everything, instead of letting the TVA die, he kind of like recreated the TVA by like that whole episode 5 was like a little bit weird to me. Like it wasn't my favorite episode, and I heard that they like had to redo that whole episode. Like that's not the original episode 5. But I didn't like him going around and handpicking the people
Yeah.
and like pretty much pulling them out of their lives and doing the same exact thing Kang did and being like, oh, now you have, I wanted to give you a choice whether you wanted to be in the TVA or not. But no, you didn't. You just pulled him out of his life. And like there was no choice to be made before you did that. So you kind of just recreated the problem. Like I thought that was kind of like weird. But thinking back on it, if his learning how to control his time slipping has to do with like the people that he knew and like that's how he was able to jump through time being like I'm looking for this person, type of thing, then it kind of makes a little bit more sense. But just episode 5 was just a little bit weird to me.
Episode 5 was weird for sure, which is why I didn't really know where it was going, but it luckily it wrapped it up nicely. I was like, okay.
And then he pulled them all out of their original timelines just for them to get like destroyed. That was just sad. I'm like, yo, what the hell? It's like, hey, like everything's doomed. Like everybody's just gonna die. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
This season was dark.
It was.
Dark.
It was. All this time slipping and spaghetti peeling. It was gross to look at also, so I'm glad that's over. But
just
no,
to think about how many times he really would have had to do that, you know what I mean? With like the whole scene where they showed Victor Timely going out and trying to fix the problem a bunch of times to when he had to go back and pretty much learn like quantum physics or something, or like it was kind of nuts. Like,
yeah.
And just when he started doing that, I was thinking like he keeps going back in time. Isn't he creating more
that's what I thought
timelines by doing that?
Well,
that's perfect sense that the loom overloaded when they fixed it. I'm like, you just exponentially like made the problem worse.
That's what I thought too, but I thought that time didn't really exist the same way in the TVA. That's how I thought that they explained that away, because I was wondering that too, because the fact that he was going back in time into his own body didn't make sense, and it kind of negated everything about like time travel from like all the other movies that had to deal with it, because it's like when you travel back in time, like you don't travel back into yourself in that moment, you just create a variant of yourself, is how it was explained. So then when he was going back into his own body, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But then I chalked it up to the fact that they were contained within the TVA where time doesn't work the same way. So that's why I'm like, okay, so maybe that's the only reason that that's happening. Because
I mean, he was time jumping into places where outside of the TVA.
Yeah, and then so when he time jumped outside of the TVA, didn't he didn't jump back into his own body in those instances, didn't he? I don't remember, but I feel like it was different.
He just appeared out of nowhere. Like he didn't need the device to enter those times. He could just do it himself.
Yeah, I mean, so yes, he probably did create branch timelines in those instances. Yes.
And even when he jumps back into himself at the TVA, like there's a timeline where he didn't. So I would just assume that it automatically makes a new timeline. Like,
but I don't think so when they're inside the TVA. I don't think time works the same way as it does in the outside world. So I don't think that.
Well, anyway, the loom overloaded.
But that's what they've been saying. That's what they've been saying the whole time. That time doesn't flow normally in the TVA. That's what they've been saying the whole entire show. So
yeah, but I think that was all bullcrap because He Who Remains set that whole thing up. The whole TVA being reincarnated and destroyed mad times was a part of his ring, his sacred timeline. Like the TVA being destroyed is part of his sacred timeline.
I guess. I don't know, guys. Who knows? Who knows at this point? There's too much happening.
Hiddleston knows.
Let's ask him. Send him an email.
Yeah, we'll get him.
That's probably gonna take up my this week. Me watching videos and just thinking about Loki, time slipping, and all this stuff. Because boy, did Attack on Titan have me in a
oh god
tissy.
Oh yeah, let's go to Attack on Titan because we still have that to talk
Do we
about.
even have time?
I
We
mean,
can save this.
I mean, I guess we could save it, but we should say something about it. Did you enjoy
How
it
did y'all
at least?
go ahead? Take it away.
I mean, it ended the same. Was there any difference between the manga and the anime? I think like the conversation between Eren and I heard that the conversation between Eren and Armin was different, but I don't remember because it's been like a while since I read the manga, so
Yeah.
I don't really know how different it was. But I heard that they changed it a little bit.
Very different, and it made the biggest
Difference? Did it?
yes, difference. Because
Wait.
basically in the manga,
Mhm.
and when they had that conversation, Eren said right off the bat, like, yo, I destroyed 80% of the world, the
Mhm.
population. And Armin sat there and was like, oh yeah, really? You did that for us. Cool. And even at the end of the conversation, he was like, "Oh, thank you for like destroying all of humanity for us." Like crying, it was like Armin would never act like that. Like this is not the Armin we know. He wouldn't have been okay with Eren just
Yeah.
killing everybody. Like, so they pretty much changed it so that he doesn't say that at the beginning of the conversation. Instead, he talks about going and fulfilling the dream that they both had. And he talks about the past of Ymir. So he goes around showing Armin all the stuff that they all wanted to see in the book. And then he talks about the background of Ymir and how she was a slave to King Fritz and she was in love with King Fritz. And he doesn't know what there's something that Mikasa does that ends all the Titans or whatever. There's something that she does that like frees Ymir.
Yeah.
So Eren like is trying to explain that to him like pretty much I had to do the rumbling because this is the outcome that like I was being led towards, even though the whole freedom thing comes into play because a lot of people are saying, oh, Eren wasn't free if he had to do the rumbling. But I argue that. I feel like Eren was free the whole time and he wanted to do the rumbling. And basically in that conversation, Armin one of the changes is that Armin took responsibility with Eren. He was like, "Yo, I'm probably one that planted those ideas in your head. Like I'm the one that showed you the book of the mountains and the oceans and the volcanoes. And when you got out there to the real world and saw that it was just more of the bullshit that we've been living with this whole time, like you wanted to create that world that we saw in the book, which would mean destroying everybody, so that you could like truly be free to explore all that stuff." That's how I took it. But that conversation changed a lot. So and then he says I destroyed 80% of the population, and Armin gets really mad about it and was like, you know, can't you find any? We all saw it. He was like, can't you? We couldn't find another way to do it and all that stuff. And then he took responsibility with Eren, saying that you know we both murdered a whole bunch of people. I put the idea in your head for you to go murder all these people, so I'm just as guilty as you. We both going to hell. Like that was a big change. It didn't go down like that in the manga.
Well, I would have remembered that if they didn't drag out the last season to where it's been like a year and a half since I read the manga.
Yeah.
Also, I can't wait to watch this in English. It's not over for me.
Oh God.
He's
Okay.
just getting started.
It's
I
not
mean,
over.
I enjoyed it. It was cool. I just feel like for the amount that they dragged it out, to me, it was, even though I knew it was gonna happen, to me it was anticlimactic because they dragged it out for so long. They should have just aired it. They should have just aired it all together, to be quite honest with you. Or just split it up into 2 parts and not 4, or however many parts ended up like the season ended up being.
Do you guys think Aaron's is a villain, or who is the villain of the show, or like what did y'all take out of the show? Did y'all get anything?
Honestly, I'm up in the air on who the villain is. To be quite honest, I still think it's Eren. At the end of the day, he still murdered 80% of the population.
Gotcha.
And he did it for his very small group of friends. So I don't know.
Okay, so if the choice is you and all your friends die or kill 80% of the population, which one are you choosing?
I feel like I would probably do what was best for the greater good of humanity. I think.
And what is that? What's the choice then? You and your friends die.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, first of all, I don't know because like I don't really know if it really came down to that if I would do that. I don't know if I'm
Everybody knows what they would do. They would fight for themselves and their family. No one's gonna sit there and say, "Oh, because the whole world thinks my family are devils and they hate us.
True.
We should just sit here and die."
True.
Like, no, if the choice is killing 80% of the world or me and my family and loved ones just dying, but just because y'all
But
ignorant,
one would say that that is a villainous thing to do. So I feel like he's still
one would
still makes
say
him the
it's based
villain.
on perspective, and I don't think like good and bad is all about perspective. Like it's what Armin was saying. Like it's good. It could be I could be doing something good in your eyes, and James thinks it's a bad thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
True.
It's all about perspective because this whole show is like it blows my mind how like similar it is to real life. It's just based on your beliefs and where you're from and your perspective, how you're going to view other people, how you're going to view conflicts. Like, and even in that conversation with Armin and this guy in the past, Zeke, when he was saying like we're all being manipulated by nature, like to survive, grow, and multiply. Like that's what we're born when you're first born into this world. Like no, none of us like asked to be here. No one said, "Hey, I want to be born into this world." We're all a victim of being born into this world, so to speak. And you have to learn how to survive and live and just get through the world. So to me, like the word freedom is like none of us are really free because we all have to like learn how to live in this world, whether we want to or not. Like you
Okay.
gotta avoid danger. You gotta know. You gotta learn what you need to learn to get by. So like you can be the richest person in the world, but you're still not free because you're trying to keep those riches at the end of the day. Like it's a lot. This I could go on for hours about
I
Attack
know.
on Titan.
I'm sure you could. I don't know. James, what would you choose? Who's the villain?
Yeah, Aaron's the villain here.
Thanks.
I
Oh,
mean,
look.
that it's a difference of like, oh, I gotta protect me and my homies versus let me just kill 80% of everybody living. Like that 80% is overboard. That's where it gets into villainy for me.
Basically genocide. Aaron committed genocide.
So
So
if he would have killed 30% of the world, is he still a villain?
yes, that's
We're
still a lot
gonna
of people.
do the rumbling around our island, make a big old moat. Nobody's coming to bother us.
And then in 13 years or 3 or 4 years, when Eren dies and they don't have that power no more, or they'll have to make somebody eat him to continue that whole cycle. Like it's just gonna continue the cycle until they're
Well, the cycle continued
somebody's gonna
anyway.
die.
The cycle continued anyway, as we saw at the end, which is a good metaphor for history repeating itself. I like that part in the manga, and I liked it even more when they translated it into animation. So.
Yeah, there is no happy ending.
Oh, what was it all for? Nothing, because the same thing's gonna happen again. But yeah, Aaron is a villain. I'm glad you agree with me, James.
I feel like people could learn a lot from the show. To me, I think, in my opinion, I think Ymir is the real villain of this whole show because she started this whole thing thousands of years ago to protect a a real villain. King Fritz was a villain. He was well, not a villain. I can't even call him a villain because back in the day, like that's what life was. You go out conquering people, expand and conquer. That was the way of the land. If you didn't do it, you were gonna get conquered. Like that's just the way the world is. You gotta fight to live. Like you gotta if you don't destroy your enemies, like it don't matter if they're fighting for something good. If they're coming to kill you, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And okay, the whole Ymir thing. She got the powers of the Titans, came back to King Fritz off of some "I love you" thing, and then just started doing his bidding, and then now is looking for 2,000 years for someone that can show her that they can go against the person that they can love, even though it's a toxic relationship or that person is doing something against humanity. Like she needed to see that physically and put people through 2,000 or so years of turmoil and abuse and oppression and all that stuff just so for her to personally see somebody do that. Like that is villain to me.
I mean, that's a good perspective too. But in manipulating Eren, he still ended up the villain. I don't see him as a victim at all in this situation. He was a villain. And Ymir was a villain. They were both villains.
Yeah. Tag team duo.
Yep. That is what I feel. But everyone should let us know how they feel. Is Eren a villain or is he a victim?
Wait, did I get a did you answer the question, James? 80% of the people in the world die, or you and your family and friends die? which choice are you making if those are the only two options?
We about to have to get a sacrifice going.
All right. Wait, what? You and your family sacrificed?
Oh yeah, we're going out swinging. Versus, let's go kill everybody else's family.
Wait, I'm confused. So
he would let his family be him and his family be sacrificed rather than kill 80% of the population. That's what he said.
Is that confirmed, James?
Yeah, that's my Attack on Titan take.
Got it. Got it. Interesting. I'm intrigued by that.
It's a very interesting divide in the internet right now. Fans have to let us know what they think. Give us your thoughts and opinions on Attack on Titan. Who was right? Was Eren justified in his actions? Let us know. I know some people that agree with you, Jaja. I know a lot of people that agree with you on the interwebs.
I feel like it's human nature to agree with me. If anybody comes and threatens your life, you're not gonna just lay down and die because they're trying to kill. Like, you're gonna fight to survive, and if that means
but
then
what about not everyone thought they were devil? What about the innocent children that all died?
Everybody in the world thought the Eldians were devils.
What about the innocent children who didn't think anything?
And it could be, I don't want to make this comparison, but it could be looked at as how the world views like Black people or different cultures. Like, everyone has a world, there's stereotypes. So we don't have the best view in the world right now. Would you agree with that?
But what about the innocents?
There's some people in the world that wish Black people didn't exist just because out of ignorance. So if the choice was all Black people die just because the world doesn't like us, or I destroy 80% of the world to the point where they're not a threat anymore, and now we're on equal footing, and we could try to build something together, even though it's not going to work. Like, I'm thinking I'm choosing 80%. I'm sorry.
We should start an official debate on this. James, do your friends have? I
hate to bring it to that comparison because it's
my friends don't watch Attack on Titan.
Really? Oh man. Okay. We got to get some people. Email us if you want to come and debate your side of the Attack on Titan. I'll put out some feelers on the interwebs. People who want to come on the show, I'll vet them first to make sure they're not crazy. But yeah. If you're interested, please email us blerdsnerds@gmail.com. So this could be a whole episode. We won't get too deep.
The part that makes Eren a little bit sick is that he wanted the rumbling me to happen just because, he wanted to see the stuff that he saw in Armin's book. That part of it is a little bit like your man took advantage of Eren because he wanted to see a world flattened. So yeah, he kind of has a little villain to him. So I give you that.
Okay, well at least there's that we agree on. But yeah, we can continue this conversation. It's a long debate. But it's finally over after 10 years. So good riddance, Attack on Titan. Okay, it was a good show, but it could have ended 2 years ago.
I gotta do like a retrospective or expose or something on Attack on Titan. Like, even if it's just for myself, I just gotta get all my thoughts out on Attack on Titan, and then just before I can have some closure.
I do admire the direction the show took, because for those people that didn't read the manga, like when the anime first started airing, I feel like the direction the show went in was completely different from what people were expecting. I don't know what people were expecting, like when in those first couple seasons when things were first starting to kick off, but I feel like it just went into a very different direction. It was good though.
Everybody was calling the plot simple, and they didn't think it was going to be that complex, and it turned out that they were sowing the seeds right from the beginning. Some crazy stuff.
It's true. Yeah. So we're at time right now, but I forgot to mention in my nerdy things that I started watching Invincible, because that started. Did you guys start watching Invincible, the new season?
No.
Oh my god,
yet.
really? Oh, okay. Well, nothing to. Again, we're at time, so like I'm not going to say much about it. But
is there any time travel in Invincible?
There's no time travel, but there is another common theme. It seems to be a pop. Huh? Well, yeah, multiverse is coming back again. I know multiverse is like a tired topic right now, but yes, it is happening in Invincible. So, but it's good so far. 2 episodes are out. You guys should watch it before next week.
I'll put on my list.
I don't know, guys. I tried to watch it without having rewatched the first season, and I was very lost. So I had to rewatch the entire first season, which I did. And then I went back again and watched the first episode over again, and it made more sense to me. So it's just been so long since the first season aired. So
I'll
I don't
find a
know.
good
Yep.
Watch a good
YouTube
recap.
summary.
Yeah, watch a good recap first before you watch it. All right. Anything else before you wrap up for this week?
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all
All
from me.
right. Well, as always, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Blerdsnerds, follow us on TikTok, Blerdsnerds_pod. Send us an email, blerdsnerds@gmail.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and rate, review, and subscribe on your podcast listening app of choice. As always, I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Peace.